Let us discuss today one important Excel function which is used for decision making. That function is if function. This is a logical function. If function is used very widely, very widely in Excel. Let us see how or what is the syntax of if function. The syntax is equal to if condition. If the condition is true, what is to be done as to be written as true action. If the condition is false, what is to be written as false action. Please note that in if condition, in if function, all are mandatory. Condition is a mandatory, true action is a mandatory, false action is also a mandatory. You cannot you cannot ignore any one of them. You're also aware of it. Any function, whenever you are writing in Excel, it should start with is equal to sigma. It will tell Excel that it is a function or it is a formula. Okay. Now let us take one simple example to understand what is this or how we can use if function using a simple example. Let us consider I have a I have a Excel sheet with the following columns. That is hall ticket number, name, English marks, mathematics marks, GK marks, and total. And I have the grand totals are also computed. Now, let us take one example stating that I wanted to make sure that, or I wanted to declare the results of the students based on a simple formula. That is, if a student gets 150 and above, 150 and above, or 150, or let us say 60%, 180 and above, and he is said to be passed, otherwise he is said to be failed. Whatever you take it, either 50% or 60%. So if you want to do it, you can write it as follows is equal to if, right? And then the total marks are available for this particular row, that is F3. If I take 50% is greater than or equal to 50% means three subjects, that is 150, and then I will say is set to be passed. Please note that if you are writing any string, that has to be enclosed in double quotes whenever you are using a if statement, right? If the marks are less than 150, then he is said to be what is called as a fail. Please close this and close this, press it. So now what you can do is you can copy the same formula here. Fortunately, all the marks whatever you have got is is greater than 150. Let us say I will add one more, that is 45, and let us say 38, and let us say 44. And please note that the total has automatically computed and the marks are no automatically is less than 150. I have got what is called as fail as a result. This is a simple way of using a single, or let us say a simple way of using what is called as a if function. Now, now you can also use the other form or the other way of also. That is, let us look at it. We can also use the logical operators with this function. The logical operators are and, or, not. And you can also have a nested if function also. A nested if function is nothing but if in a if is known as nested function. For example, I can write here nested nested, nested, if function, nested, 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 if function. Right? How do you define nested if function? Means if in a if function is known as nested if function. Right? We will discuss even all the three. Now let me take what is called as a nested if function. For example, if is known as a nested function. Please note that whenever you are trying to use if function, for every if function you should have a true action as well as a false action for every condition that you are providing. Let us take the same, let us say that take the same and we will impose the rule as follows. That is, if a student is said to be declared pass if he gets a minimum of 50 marks in each and every subject, then he is said to be pass. Otherwise, he is said to be fail. That's what we will have it. Now, if that is the case, what we should do is now we have to do it. Now, please note that I will write if. Right? Now, English marks are available in C3, and let us say if C3 marks are greater than or equal to 50, that means he has cleared the first examination. Now, if in this case, if he has cleared the first examination, maybe if it is not there or whatever it is, then we have to cover all the three subjects. Then only we can come to a conclusion that whether he has passed or failed. Okay. So if that marks is greater than, if suppose if the marks are greater than 50, then what we need to do is we have to check for the second subject. That is, the second subject is D3, that is nothing but mathematics marks are greater than or equal to 50. If that is so, then what we need to do is we should also check for the third subject, that is E3, that is nothing but GK marks. E3 is greater than or equal to 50. Please note that marks in English, marks in maths, marks in GK. In each and every subject, if the marks are greater than 50, then you are saying that pass. Otherwise, please note that this E3, that means he has cleared in first examination, he has cleared the second examination, then you have gone for the third examination. If the third examination he has got that, then only you are going to say that is passed. If the third examination he has not got more than 50, in that particular case, you will say that he is a fail. So for the third, if E3 is greater than or equal to 50, that is a condition, true action is false, pass, false action is fail. Suppose if you go to the second subject, that is second if, that is if D3, that is mathematics marks are greater than or equal to 50 means, then you are moving to the third subject. If that marks are not greater than 50 means, then itself you are specifying it, he is said to be failed. Please note that this is for the second if. If the first subject itself he has not got, the first if, that is the first subject, if the first subject is not greater than 50 means, there is no need for going for the second subject and third subject. Straight away you can specify it as what we can say is a fail and close it. Please note that you can able to see a different colors for each and every if, and you can also see for each and every if you have condition, true action, false action is there. So once you have said that, we can say it. So please note that in the first subject itself, he has not got more than 45. That's the reason he has failed. So let us copy the same formula for the second and third and fourth for subjects. Please note that the second roll number 102 has got more than 15 each and every subject. Similarly, 103 is also got more than in that, whereas in 104 has got less than in one subject, and and the F is also got, the last. So this way you can use. Please note that you have used a function called if function, and you have used if in if, which is known as nested if, which is known as a nested if. So this way you can use it. You can have a maximum of 255 nested ifs can be used once at once. Okay. So hardly we have used three nested functions here. Let us move. Another thing that we have discussed when we were talking about the if function, that is nothing but we can use the logical operators. The logical operators are nothing but and or not. And meaning is, and or, these are the two logical operators which are used to combine more than one condition at a time. If you want to combine more than one condition, you can use it either and or. Whenever you are using and, if let us say you have combined three conditions, if all the three conditions are true, then the and condition, that is known as a compound condition, is true. If any one of them is a false, then and is false. The reverse is for or. Even you are using, let us say, three conditions are there, they are connected with or, and any one of the condition is true, then or is true. If all of them are false, then it is false. Let us take the same example I would like to use it using a function called and. Right. So how do you do it? I will write once again result. I will write result. How do I use it? And using and, I'm using it. Okay. So how do I do it? Mean, first I will not write complete part. The first condition is what we have is, let us say C3. I will write it as C3. That is nothing but the C3 marks are greater than or equal to 50. This is one condition. The second condition is what we have is, another condition is what we have is D3 is greater than or equal to 50. This is another condition, right? The next condition is, please note that I have forgotten to add one more bracket here. D3 is greater than or equal to 50 is the second condition. Close the bracket. The last condition is nothing but E3 is greater than or equal to 50. This is what I have to write. So these are the three conditions I should write it for that. I need to check it. So how do I do it? Means use this one as follows. Here you can write it here, and here you can write it at, is equal to a and b, and open this bracket, and once this condition is true, comma, then delete this commit, right? And this one is right. You can write it this one and close this. Please note that if all of them are true, then it automatically will give you true. Otherwise, it gives you it as a what? False. So after doing this one, I have come to know this. So now what I will do is I will connect this particular if in if along with this if. So I will write here if, and if all these conditions are true, that means if and all these conditions are true, then I will say he is said to be passed. Otherwise, he is said to be failed. Close this. So like it. So I have got this one. Control C and copy this formula. The same thing you have done it. Now please note that I will just go to one of these places and do it. If C5 marks are greater than 50, yes. D5 marks are greater than 50, yes. E5 marks are greater than 50 means that entire thing has got a means true. The true means if condition is true means what it will happen is it will say pass. If any one of the conditions is false, then and is false. That is the compound condition is false. Then automatically you will get what is that is best fail. Okay. So this way we can use and for and for this one. The same thing I would like to use another logical operator called or, and I will write once again how do we do that same. Right. Now, how do I write it? Means the same thing I will write it. That is, first one is what I will say is C3 is less than 50 because I wanted to check if 50 marks got means he is set to be passed. What is the second condition means? D3 is less than 50. That means he is set to be failed. The next one is E3 is less than 50. Anywhere he is set to be less than 50 means he is set to be failed. So what I do is I will just write here using the logical operator called is equal to or and or and just write this, and you know what you can do is this is one condition, this is another condition, this is another condition. You can do it, close it. So what happens is this is true. That means any one of them is a true. That means anywhere, somewhere you have got less than 45 means he is said to be failed. Now you connect this one if if. So if bracket, go to this. Anywhere he has got less than 50 means that means he has not scored. That means he is nothing but a fail. Otherwise, nowhere he has got less than 50 means all the conditions are false means that means he has got more than 50 in every subject 50 and more. So then he is said to be passed. So that is, we can just use copy the same formula here up to here. So the same you can use it. Now I think I have told you how do you do the same job using nested if, and I can use the same function called using and. I can use get the same results using what is called AND. Please note that I have taken one simple situation where how do you use a compound if function and logical operator or logical operator. Not is another logical operator which is used for negation. Negation means if it is a true, not if, not true means false. Not false means true. So you can also use this one for for depending upon your situation to make the other decisions. Right now, I can just leave it here. Hope that you have followed what is called as you know the if function. So what is the syntax of if function? If condition, true action, false action, and if can also using if you can also use the logical operators called and or not, and you can also use a nested if function to compute the results. So I hope you have you have followed you have followed the you have followed the uh, if function. Okay, thank you.